Awesome. Well, hey, Michael, thank you for joining me today. It's going to be a fun conversation. So, this whole episode and my whole show is just focused on solving for time and how solutions lead to giving people time back in their lives, however that means to them, either with family, relaxing, or just in general, having more experiences in the world. So, with just jumping straight into that, for you, what problems have you solved that have given you time back in your life or in your day to day?
All right. Well, first off, it's awesome to be here, Dallas. Thank you for inviting me on the show today. And in terms of solving or giving myself time back, solving problems that have given myself time back, one of the biggest things that comes to mind is actually having dealt with a lot of my own internal doubts, worries, and struggles that have given me time back to not be so engrossed in negativity or stress or worries that I think for many people becomes very, very time consuming if they hold on to that kind of stuff for their whole life. And so for me, I got really involved in personal development at a pretty early age. I'd say high school is when I first started looking into Buddhism and Eastern philosophy, and I got into meditation. And then in college I got more into like Western personal development and Tony Robbins and some other people. And what I learned through those experiences was how to manage my own stress, how to manage my own anxiety, and how to not get caught up in my thoughts. Because if there's one thing that meditation teaches you how to do, it's to not get stuck with a certain event that happened or a certain thought that you're having. Because so many people go into it's almost a slippery slope. I have this example too. Sometimes, people might ask you like, you should go make that call. And your head might go to, I should make that call. Well, what if I don't make that call? Well, if I don't make that call, what if I don't make any money? If I don't make any money, what if I can't support my family? And if I can't support my family, what if my life sucks? And
yes,
like all this time is spent just worrying about things that can instead be acted on and solved in the moment. And so many worries bring things from the past to the present. And so many worries take things that haven't even happened in the future. They bring them to the present. You experience all of this suffering right now when you think about it, you're not in danger. You're not gonna die. There's no bear or tiger about to eat you. So I think this stuff consumes up so much time. And for me, that's probably been the biggest time saver, is dealing with those internal doubts, worries, and struggles.
That is awesome. And I think so true as like a foundational piece for anyone trying to solve for time, right? You have to get your mindset right before you can even start to really do some physical things that will give you physical time back with family, friends, or wherever. You have to get your internal mindset ready to accept that time and to work on those things. I agree 100%. I also think it segues really well into my second question. Once you really nailed down that mindset and were able to control your anxiety and depression and all those negative worry thoughts in the future, the past, from there, I know you started a bunch of different, ventures and side projects. What projects or side things or just problems in general have you solved for other people that have given them time back?
Yeah, I'd like to think of any solution. I think you agree with it too. That's the basis of the podcast. Any solution you create for other people, as at its very core, you're saving their time, you're giving their time back. And so one thing I think I'm incredibly happy with in terms of being able to save other people time is the problems I've solved in networking and creating content that is just beautifully scalable. Because when you think about it, when somebody makes one piece of what's called like evergreen content, it's that type of content that's not attached to, just some fad that's happening in the moment. It's something that is a human problem that is going to be around for a long time. Somebody's going to be able to come back to my content that relates to mindset or personal development years from now, and it's still going to be applicable because these are just human problems. These are human issues. And so I think that, it wasn't more than 6 months ago that the podcast, the platform that I have right now, was totally just an idea in the clouds. And the process of, one, just jumping right in, the first thing I did, like when I had, one episode out, or I hadn't even launched yet, was fly to Nashville to the biggest podcasting conference there was. And I was like, I'm just going to jump in. I'm going to network. I'm going to meet people. And from those connections and what I learned there, was able to set up the platform in such a way that I was able to grow it quickly and impact more people and help them deal with the same kind of worries, anxieties, fears, struggles, just life stuff that I have myself, and teach that. So that's probably been what I've been most happy with in terms of solving other people's time, giving them back.
Oh, that's awesome, right? And that it solves so many different problems, right? You started with the networking and the content creation, but how many more people do you touch on and help with the mindset part, right? How many more viewers do you have than that one person that was like, I networked with someone cool and we made some content, right? The more people that you can help with shifting their mindset is going to be the way bigger impact, right? So I think that's huge. That's amazing. My next question for you, and I'm just curious now because we're getting into the questions that I'm just personally curious about. For you, what habit has been super impactful for you? What habit has given you the most time back in your day?
I would say that it's the collective habit of my morning routine, because I have quite the in-depth morning routine, and
let's dive into that. Yes.
it is constantly evolving. In fact, I just added some stuff to it. I'm loving it. I'm currently trying to come up with, or I'm doing like 20 or 25 goals a day that I'm writing down, and I'm trying to get to 5,000 I'll get to it in like 200 something days or whatever. But basically, awesome. So my morning routine, one of my biggest beliefs is that being in fully, one of the things that saves me the most time is being like fully, like, first of all, having energy, like feeling healthy, having energy, being fully aligned with what my goals are, where I'm going, and at peace with everything that's in the past, and being able to be fully present and with what I'm doing and with what I'm working on. And so what helps me do that by far the most, and what grounds me every single day, is my morning routine. And so you want me to walk through it?
Oh, please. All
right. So we're up at about like 6 a.m. And first thing we're going to do is Tony Robbins priming. Now, if any of you follow Tony Robbins, and if any of you've been to his UPW event or any of those, I initially went to his UPW event back in March, and that's when I learned how to do his priming. Now, he does have a video online. It's like tonyrobbins.com/priming. Super easy to find, but I put on that video every single morning, sit in my chair, like facing a window, close my eyes, and I do his priming exercise. It's kind of a combination of a meditation with breathing exercises, with visualization and goal setting, and bringing some beautiful memories from the past into the present to re-experience those. It's a pretty cool thing. So that gives me a lot of energy. After I prime, I go into my affirmations that I say out loud and with energy and emotion, because that's the only way to get them to really engage your nervous system, is to say them with energy. So I go into my affirmations, and those evolve too as well. After I do my affirmations, I do just like a really funky, just personal dance party just for me. That's like, it's like it's like a 2-minute thing, but I'm just hyped up. I'm like ready to just go at it the day. Like, other people would see me and be like, this guy is a lunatic, but it works. So I do this like really quick dance party, just solo. And then it's time to work out. So then it's workout. Always make sure that I get some workout in. So it's like workout, shower stuff. But then I come back and I do my really critical like morning reflection. So I have a journal every single day. So I'll start with journaling, and then I'll go into daily planning. And I will do my daily planning. I will look at what is my 90-day goals that I have set. I usually set about 3 of those because that's a really good period to do. I have my weekly goals, and then I have the most important next step. What is the literal next thing that I need to do today in order to make progress towards that goal? I find out what that is for all 3 of those 90-day goals. I put them in my main box and I prioritize them so I know exactly what order I need to get them done in. If I don't get the first thing done, I'm not allowed to move on to the second thing. I need to get the first thing done. There's always one priority, not priorities. That's how I operate on this system. Then once I know what it is, I go over to my schedule, my planner, and I actually time block that out into the parts of the day. And at this point, I have just like a super clear vision of exactly what I'm gonna do during the day. It's awesome. All I need to do is follow through on it. And the last thing I do in my routine that I just added recently is I will write 20 goals per day that are like life goals. They don't have to be super big. They could be small. So I'm just like visualizing. And the very last thing is I'll literally spend like 10 or 15 minutes thinking and visualizing my goals having already happened, and they're already present here now. They're already achieved, and bringing those moments closer to me in the present, which is brand new. Just started doing it a few days ago, but it's awesome. That's my routine. Love it. Do it every day.
That is amazing. I think I probably do a good chunk of your morning routine in mine, but you jam pack so much into that morning routine. It's amazing. I do some of that. My journaling I do at the end of my day at night, but I do enjoy the concept. I mean, it really doesn't matter as long as you're getting it done within the day, right? I really love that you jam pack so many things. From what time of wake up, just for time purposes, because this is a time-oriented podcast, what time do you wake up and what time do you stop with it? What time do you usually finish that last little note on the journal?
Yeah. So I'm up at 6 and do the priming and get up related stuff. I'm usually done with my workout by 8. Okay. And then that's the shower and journal and plan takes me to, sometimes I'm able to get that done in about half hour, sometimes 45 minutes. So I'm definitely done by 9, for sure.
Gotcha.
I'm done with my,
between 8:30 to 9 is probably a general end spot for you.
Well, I guess it used to be that I would definitely be done by 8:30. And I would make calls in the morning. I do outbound messaging and stuff like that, 8:30. But I just recently added some stuff to my routine, so now it pushed it back like half hour. So 9 p.m. is now what it is.
Yeah. Gotcha. No, that's awesome. I love everything about that morning routine. I'm probably gonna try the priming. I do affirmations in the morning. Affirmations are super powerful. One of the notes I wanted to say about that too is at my brokerage right now, we do property management for commercial, residential, but we also have a commercial brokerage arm, and we have probably some of the top brokers in the state and Washington, Oregon and Washington. The number one broker on our team will not hire someone unless they submit to doing affirmations every morning as a team with him, and a team-oriented affirmations. He's like, I'm going to do mine, but I also have my team version. And this man's doing about $4 million in just real estate commissions, and he's heavily involved in other projects. So it's definitely working.
Yeah. This stuff works. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. I'll round us out here. I just have a set 3 ending questions I like to ask. First one being similar to yours. Favorite book, personal development, business, whatever helps you in your life. What was really impactful for you?
All right. I'd say the classic, the original that really got me going on personal development, I'm looking at it right now, is Tony Robbins' Unlimited Power. It's his very first book. It's a classic. I'd say if you want like some really effective stuff that's along those lines, I have to throw in the very old school classic, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. That's Stephen Covey. That
Yep.
one's really good too. I just finished it. So
Same. I actually did too. I have you read the book Traction?
yes.
That one's amazing. And you definitely seem like you have read the book Traction based on your morning routine goal system. I was like, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
For sure.
Well, it leads into my next question a little bit. It could be different, could be the same. Who is your favorite business creator?
Ooh, I'm thinking
Could
of
be
our
a
mutual.
YouTuber, could be an Instagrammer, could be Mark Cuban. It could be a wide array. Just someone that's a business creator, a business figure.
I really like Gary Vee's stuff.
Gary Vee is awesome.
Yeah. No, I mean, he knows how to make it engaging. His team knows how to make it engaging. I love his blunt nature and how he delivers messages, and totally unapologetic and just real and raw. And I think that, man, one thing that sticks with me about what he said lately is if you have positivity, or you have like happiness in you, like if you are happy, like there are so many people right now who don't feel that way. Like you are almost morally obligated to go out and share that with other people, like go out and impact people that way. And that's something that's impacted me hearing that. So
Yeah. No, I love Gary Vee as well. I actually practice one of his kind of insane habits. People think it's insane, but I practice it as well. Maybe just because that's the nature of me, but it's the one where you think about really negative things happening to like family members and experience that for 5 minutes. I do. It makes me grateful. It totally does. It makes me go, that could happen. Like if stub my toe, I immediately am like, well, maybe not immediately on a stub toe, but I mean, something bad happens throughout the day. I'll go, you know, this thing could happen, and I'll experience it emotionally, or try to get to a state where I'm like, can really feel it, to where it's like, or I tell myself, no, what if it was real, right? I put myself into that mindset right there, and I practice that, and it's been super impactful for keeping me grateful. And then I can immediately go, but they're fine, and they are great, and they're just at work. So this is totally fine. My family's doing well, and it can help. It's such an impactful practice for that reason. So love me some Gary Vee as well.
Yep.
Last question for you. Where can people reach you? Where do you want people to reach you at?
Oh my gosh. So you can find me on Instagram at Michael Boly, just my name together. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on TikTok at Boly's Stories. That's like Boly and then stories. And you can find me on Facebook. I'm going to be launching a YouTube. It'll be pretty soon here. And, but I'm probably most active if you reach me on Instagram, in my Instagram DMs. So find me there.
Got it. We will link all those, or as much as we can at the time we post this, in the description as possible. So thank you, Michael Boly, for joining the Solve for Time podcast. It has been a pleasure.
Thank you.